Good afternoon. So today I am in a somewhat soggy Dorset. Hopefully it's going to get sunny as the day progresses. We're going to go for a run around the coast. I'm on my own today. We'll see how far we get. So we're starting off here in Corfe Castle, which annoys you even from sat here in the car. And we shall go around to Swanage and around the coast and see how far we can get. So the first issue of being anywhere near Dorset by the bank holiday has been solved by actually finding somewhere to park the car. The next issue is trying to remember where this route starts, because as always there's no signal, which I kind of forget. There is a reason why you should still have traditional OS maps. And we're off. In the same vein as last week's video, I plan on running a route that I've only ever walked before, and I've picked a doozy of a route to go for. We're starting off by taking the Purbeck Way from Corfe Castle to Swanage on the coast, which is famed for a steam train trip, which would have been good to capture, but we have the Jenny Lewis here in all her glory. Now, finding the start of this route was a pain. Now, when I walked it, I didn't come this way. I certainly remember taking a really steep pull to the top from a road, but this seemed like the most logical route for running. I did manage to get lost several times up to this point, but once you're on this ridge route, you can't really go wrong. Now, there are no shortage of gates on this route, and as you can see from the puddles, it's been raining pretty heavy. I actually camped the night before, which is why my car was strewn with jackets at the start, all in various states of drying, and then I spent half the night listening to the rain thundering down. But fingers crossed we're all good now, and with only a small shower anticipated on the route, the skies look clear, so fingers crossed it'll all be good. This is seriously hard. First mile. Yeah, the climb from Corfe is about 200 meters of elevation, but it means you do get some fantastic views. Sadly, the climb does go on for about half an hour, with most of the work being done in that first mile. Up on the ridge here, you can see Poole and Bournemouth over there to my left, and the fields over to the right, which will be part of my return journey. Oh, now the hat's on backwards must mean business. Either that or I've just noticed that I've lost my hair tie. So we're getting near to the ridge summit now. Okay, so it's the first time I actually look backwards. Normally I don't see what's behind me until I'm looking at the edits of the camera, but yeah, that looks pretty miserable back there. Let's hope I manage to dodge it, because it looks lovely up front. I get the feeling that shower looks to be a bit more serious than expected. Where did that come from? Even editing this, the skies looked clear a moment ago. Now, just like when you need a slash on the motorway, rumbling black clouds behind you when you're running do tend to increase your speed, as you can see. I'm obviously looking back there, hoping that if I keep looking, it will suddenly disappear. Am I going to make it to Swanage in time? Race against the clouds. I don't fancy my chances. At least I do have a waterproof with me this time. What's the point in a waterproof anyway when you're soaked with sweat? Come on, run, Forrest, run. Right, I've given it a put a jacket on. Here we go, here we go. Bastard weather. Yeah, well, I think that pretty much sums it up. Oh, and now I managed to get lost. No signal, no signs. Actually hailing now. But yeah, I've decided to take some, at least semi-shelter, just to try and keep my feet a little bit drier if possible. So I stayed there cowering for about 2 to 3 minutes underneath that twig until the worst had passed, but then I realised I was soaked through, so I may as well just crack on. Right, so I managed to get lost and went down the wrong way to a road. Had to go back up a hill to come the right way.
always the same way. There's never a signpost when it actually gets complicated.
Too true. And as you can see, the ground is now mud. Hooray for trail shoes.
Hitchhikers. At least the rain's gone. Hopefully that's it. At least a break in the weather for 20 minutes, but I'm hoping that the sun will come out, so at least my feet dry a bit. And just look back again. Nice and sunny. Let's hope we get some of that.
So into soggy Swanage. Nothing like a freshly washed beach to clear the grockles and make it look brand new.
Sunny Swanage, see if I can get hit by a puddle. Absolutely piss soaked. Gotta love arsehole drivers.
Yeah, Land Rover driver decided to cover me from head to foot. Didn't catch it on camera, but I did find that pointing my GoPro at every other driver after him did make them far more considerate. So if all else fails, point a camera and stick it on YouTube. One to remember. Not spent much time in Swanage, but it was surprisingly busy considering the amount of rain that's falling. But then again, that's a summer bank holiday in the UK, I guess. All part of the experience. We're heading out of Swanage again now and back into the real world, which means we're going back uphill. The Jurassic coastline is absolutely stunning. And here we have the view from Durlston Head. If you look out there, across the sea, you'll see there's actually looks like a faint rainbow there in the distance. So we're now about to join the Southwest Coast Path, and it runs from here and goes all the way around the coast of Devon and Cornwall to Minehead in Somerset. So it's around about 630 miles long. It covers an elevation change of about 35,000 meters. So I'll be giving that a miss for now. Now, last time I walked this area, I actually met a runner who was limping, and it stated he'd actually just broken his ankle, which I've never forgotten. I mean, the idea of breaking anything while you're out on a run is never good, but with no phone signal and very few people still yet to be wandering about, it's an adventure I'd rather not have myself. But as not many people tend to walk that far from a car park these days, it's something you should be aware of if you're heading out on your own. Now, that mud did stick like shit to a duvet, so it made running almost impossible, and trail shoes or not, I had to stop to keep scraping them off wherever I had some kind of opportunity. There was a little bit of grass on the path, but and it was actually fairly wide here at the start, but as you can see, look at that, the mud is ridiculous. But the further along I got on the route, again further away from those car parks, the worse the path got. Unfortunately, it got to a point where I was nearly slipping arse over tit, or more concerningly, arse over cliff, which meant that I basically had to resort to walking, which even just walking through this, as you can probably tell, was exhausting. As you can see, I'm slipping all over the place. I think I managed to do a world-breaking 25-minute mile along this section. We're just coming up onto Dancing Ledge, which is basically a big flat rock at the base of a cliff. But at certain tides, the waves can make it look as though the ledge is dancing, or at least so they say.
So I've had to abandon the southwest coastal route. That ground is way too bad. Spoke to some walkers, and they say it's exactly the same all the way along Worth and Travers. So we're heading up to Langton and Travers, and we'll cut across on the Priest Way, I think, or hopefully find some slightly better route so I can actually do some jogging back.
If you've been to Dancing Ledge, you will appreciate how steep this hill is to walk, let alone jog up. And certainly going up this hill was not an easy choice, but I was kind of losing the will to live in that mud. Now, just following along the Priest Way here into Worth and Travers, Worthmere Travers has an excellent pub called Square and Compass, which I was going to stop for some light refreshment, but surprise, surprise, it was full of drivers queuing out the door. And you'll see me looking back over my shoulder all the way up this road here, as this is the road to the pub car park. Let's just say drivers going down to the car park were driving more considerately. Let's leave it there. Yeah, I got sick of getting stung by nettles trying to open gates and overgrown hedgerows, so over we go. Just when I thought it was safe, I'm doing the old slip and slide down these paths. We're now on the final run up into Corfe Castle. And then some gorse to finish me off. It's never a good run if you're not bleeding, right? No, just me? Oh, fair enough. And here we have Corfe Castle there in the distance. Before we go into Corfe itself, which kind of speaks for itself, to be fair. It is a beautiful, beautiful place.
Oh, knackers. So that is possibly harder even than last week's. Last week was 17, this week's 16, it's going down.